Okay, let's get into this. I'm going to show you bits and I'm going to skip through it. I tried to edit some stuff out to shorten it down, but there's too much going on, and I'd rather just kind of skip back past it and show you the bits that are important as we go. So these first 10 seconds of a fight are usually very interesting. What happens in this one is Pereira comes across straight away. He hits Vakhitov in the midsection with a teep as Vakhitov's throwing a kick, which stifles his attack. Then he's going to use, there's going to be a low kick in a second. Sorry, a high kick in a second. And then we're going to see that doesn't land, that glances off the arm. Then we're going to see a jab to the body, which upsets that kick of Vakhitov. And then we're going to see another front kick from the rear leg. So three shots straight away in the first, 10 or 15 seconds that have established that range of Pereira. So immediately Vakhitov's right, I need to get close to this guy. I need to take away all of those long-range weapons, which are going to be the most painful, the flying knees, the body kicks, the low kicks, the head kicks. Much better to close a tall fighter down and force them to throw hands instead, especially if you're Vakhitov and you've got an advantage on the inside. Shorter, more powerful punches. You're the bigger fighter naturally, or rather heavier fighter naturally. So he's going to feel like he's going to have control in the clinch as well. And the other thing he knows as well is that if he gets close enough to Pereira's going to clinch him to throw knees, in which case he can then start tying him up, which is something else he does really well and uses against Pereira. He uses it to tire him out, wear him out, and slow him down. Okay, so this first round, as I said, like he's doing a lot of work. He takes a few low kicks and he does respond badly to the low kicks. He does show that they hurt, and he doesn't have any defense for the low kicks. But everything else he does is good. This is the control I was talking about, by the way, for Vakhitov, because you can go back and watch this fight yourself, and you'll see this pattern reappearing over and over again. And we're 30 seconds into the first round, the time it shows itself. So imagine Pereira, right? He's got the longest range kicks that Vakhitov doesn't want to deal with. And then he's got long-range arms, which Vakhitov would rather not deal with. He'd rather be inside that reach. But then the next danger to that is that centre channel, those knees coming up the middle. And the best way of nullifying that is to close that range down. So either, and obviously the tight guard is very beneficial for Vakhitov. He's able to tuck up and wear a lot of those shots on his guard, and wears them well, braces to take the force. But he has a nice little smothering trick when he gets inside that immediately nullifies any kind of knee attack of Pereira. And what's going to happen? So Pereira's he's gonna like kind of jab his way inside here. Okay, short hook, and then he's going to wrap around. So now he's got the clinch. So now what you're seeing is Pereira is setting up with this knee to come straight up this center channel and attack the chin of Vakhitov, or even the body, but still it's bad news for Vakhitov. So what he does is he loops himself out of it. He reaches over the arms. There, look, you see how that left arm punches up to the sky, goes over the top, and then smothers the rear arm of Pereira. And he's also, at the same time as wrapping over that and taking control, he's also got inside bicep control with the right arm. So he's nullified that attack. Now he's closed the center channel down because he's able to get chest to chest. And then his next protocol is to turn his head inside and get head position. So now he's in an advantageous position to, basically to work, to strike, because he's deepened his hook. We're watching this arm here. You'll see him turn. He'll get his head position on the inside, so he's facing into the face of Pereira. He'll hook over, and then you'll see Pereira controlling the other arm. But that's Vakhitov's weapon to kind of jab and dig to the body. He throws some knees and forces the referee to separate. So he's not caught in that awkward clinch zone where Pereira's got those dangerous knees up the mid channel. The other thing as well, which you'll notice, is every time it happens, Pereira kind of walks forward, almost like a show of force, and that not only is not only is it good for Vakhitov because it's forcing Pereira to work, but it puts the onus on the referee to break, because neither fighter's making an effort to. Like, Vakhitov's just leaning into him, and Pereira's the one that's actually lifting him and staying close, into close range. Okay, so like in this round, you can see, like, Vakhitov's investing a little bit in low kicks. He gets a few back. Here's another one, ties up, head position, little rabbit punch. Referee separates them because Pereira's driving in. He uses that nullifying tactic over and over again. A little bit of a technical difficulty here. Here's the boys, Joe and Todd. So as I'm saying, like, we're 90 seconds into the first round, and you can tell that Vakhitov's main game plan, main goal in this first round is to keep himself safe and to try and smother the long-range weapons of Pereira as much as he can. He doesn't mind dealing with boxing because that allows him to get inside and land his own shots, but he doesn't want to be dealing with the knees, so he smothers it with that inside sweep to head position, and then the referee steps in and separates it. But what you notice about a minute into this round is that Pereira starts to pull some of the sting out of his punches. Like, he knows that Vakhitov's not really opening up, so he's not overextending himself. Look, he's kind of even playing to try and pull the guard down. This last 40 seconds is where Vakhitov opens up and he lands a good low kick, but then still takes a shot. And I think that you've got to score some of these punches from Pereira that go in and around the guard, because although he's landing on the gloves, watch this. Big power shot right to the glove, but that reverberates through his head. And then he comes around the side again, and this is very much like a Canelo-style punch. Cracks him right in the side of the head. Like, they're really impactful shots, maybe the most impactful of the round. And of course, Vakhitov, game face, tucks up and pushes forward again. But for me, that was a good, strong first round for Pereira, dealing with someone that wasn't really opening up. Didn't want to give him anything, didn't want to really engage in the fight too much. He was right in front of him, but he was covering, he was tying him up, and he was making him work. It was foundational work for Vakhitov, and it was an intelligent way to start a fight against someone like Pereira, who is long range and unorthodox and very aggressive all the way through into the fifth round. Make him work, slow him down, make him realise he's at light heavyweight, and that you're fighting the champ. Okay, let me just quick pause here. Bazooka Joe's keys to glory. He was pretty much on the money, and I like they've dropped this in here, because we can now review the first round based upon it. So, distance control for Vakhitov, absolutely. He closed him down. He made Pereira feel like he was pressured. He made him feel uncomfortable. He was forcing him to work at a time when he didn't want to, which is why Pereira's striking stats were higher than Vakhitov's. It wasn't because he was, not necessarily because he was throwing all those strikes because he wanted to. A lot of them were to alleviate pressure. So distance control was very good for Vakhitov in that first round. Inside combos, we saw a little bit at the end of the first round, but not a great deal. But as the fight progresses, we see a few more of those pop up here and there. Low kicks, absolutely. You can tell the power difference in the low kicks from Vakhitov to Pereira. Pereira answered low kicks with low kicks, sometimes multiple shots in a row. But the power of the low kicks in Vakhitov were evident in the posture and the impact that they had on Alex Pereira as a fighter. Like, he froze for a second as the leg got hammered. So that is pretty much on the money. And for that first round, although all of those things came to fruition, there wasn't enough inside combos, and I don't score low kicks high enough, or walking people down without using it. I don't score those things high enough to give Artem the first round. But like I said, he's invested so well for the future rounds, for the into the championship rounds. On the flip side, Alex Pereira, this is what Pereira likes to do, what he would normally do in a fight. He's normally the aggressor. He normally controls the range very well, and he normally forces people to work, at his range whilst they can't really get to him. He normally controls the pace. He wasn't able to do that in this first round. He was forced to work at a pace that gave him breathing room against Vakhitov. He wasn't able to counter much. because Vakhitov didn't really open up. But then at the same time, Pereira doesn't really use feint, so there weren't really options. He wasn't really creating himself options by using feint. So, you know, part of the countering is on him, but also part of it is on the fact that, you know, he wasn't really getting a great deal back from Vakhitov, so it was difficult to throw counters. And he did mix his weapons. He had to. He was trying to find ways in and around the guard of Vakhitov, and we saw a nice variety. And we do as the fight progresses, you know, like knees to the mid-thigh and that kind of stuff. It's, you know, I like the variety. But partly because Pereira's like that as a fighter, and partly because he was kind of running out of options because everything he was throwing, you know, nothing was landing. So there was a little bit of, I've got to try and figure something else out in that as well.